if you are planning to keep Sam Darnold, you must trade JJ McCarthy. I'm tired of like talking about the one side of the coin here. Like, which side do we go with? I don't want to see this BS on Twitter where everyone's not trying to act like, hey, we're just going to keep both. It is one of the stupidest approaches to just be so non-committal about a move. You drafted a kid with high capital that will be worth extremely high capital because he hasn't stepped on in the field, so the ambiguousness is going to motivate teams to aggressively offer capital. They're going to offer probably maybe multiple firsts or at least multiple early picks. You have that opportunity. You also had the opportunity, like we've discussed, of having Sam Darnold, who started and you won games with. It's hard to find guys that you can win games with. If you're going to re-sign him to a long-term deal. Trade JJ McCarthy. I am tired of this crap where they can't make a decision. Otherwise, let Darnold go. I have a different take on this for what Darnold should do, but just let Darnold go. I'm glad they didn't tag him, though, because that would have been a dick thing to do to Darnold.
I hate being aimless at this point in the NFL offseason. It's a little tough. Darnold got you 14 wins last year. That's enough for me to give you 2 years. And if I have a good coach with that seems to get along with everybody, that's enough to give me maybe another year, another 2 years onto it. 3-4 year deal for Darnold. I'd put him in that 38 to 40 range. I think that's reasonable. It's going to look like pennies 2 years from now. It just will. Make the call, make the play. You got a good roster. You were a tank all season last year. I know you beat up on the AFC South. I know that was a lucky draw for you. But you're still a tank, and what you can get back with JJ McCarthy could set in a new era of the NFL where teams with good quarterbacks already, maybe we start hoarding quarterbacks, selling them off to the real desperate teams. Maybe we start pulling you in first round.
Basically, the Eagles take that they had.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman said that, like, we're a quarterback factory to justify the Jalen Hurts pick.
If they get a couple of firsts for JJ McCarthy, it changes the entire structure of the league. I think it really does, because you're right. No one's seen a lick from him. No one's seen a snap. It's perfect. You're selling a good that no one has any clue, but they all want. Minnesota should get rid of him. They need to. They need to keep Darnold. The options that we're weighing out, look around. You got the guy that everyone wants. What is this? What is this? They got horse blinders on almost, where you're sitting, you're walking with the smoke, you're getting sick of her. Every dude in the mall is looking at her ass the whole time. Like I'm sitting here like, well, she shut up, and the guys are over here slobbering, jaws dropped.
It's very graphic way of putting it.
Keep her. God.
Okay, so that part of it, the thing that bothers me is just like trying to make both things work. It's like trying to stay in a relationship with two different girls. Like it doesn't. You gotta pick one eventually. We're this far in. We're over a year in. You gotta make a decision.
You had 2 anniversary dinners. You got to
otherwise this is gonna blow up in your face. You gotta pick one. We can't do this. But if I'm Sam Darnold, I'm not re-signing with the Vikings. I'm not doing it, man. Because there is unless they say to you, unless they give you the I'm done seeing her. I'm done. Unless they give you that, I cut things off. Unless they tell you I'm trading JJ McCarthy, you're always going to be the second option. You're always going to be the bridge guy. Eventually, you're going to get passed off. You had so much success. Take advantage of that to command in the market in a year where there's not many good quarterbacks in the upcoming draft. Take advantage and go get somebody to shell out a shitload of money to pay you. The Baker deal, that is the current best offer and has already set the precedent for what you're going to get. And arguably, he had a better year going into his free agency than Baker Mayfield did. So he has much more of an argument and can command much more money. Don't get tied down to the fact that you want to have success for a couple of years, because the older you get, we all know this, the older you get, the longer you're in the league, all that crap, it just prolongs the ability to get more and more money. Take the bread. Hope that you just get the opportunity to go play for a team that's ready to win and has a good infrastructure, but take the bread when you can get it.
If I'm Sam Darnold and I'm looking with the Vikings, I'm going to go to the playoffs for the next 3 years. that's the route I'm taking, because I'm not going to go to the playoffs 3 straight years with Cleveland. I'm definitely not doing it with Vegas, not doing it with the Jets or the Giants. Maybe I'll go to the playoffs once with those teams. All these QB hungry teams are disasters. So maybe I'm thinking about it like as a player too much, and I know that these guys are money motivated, and there's guys in the league that don't love football like fans love football. They see it as a job. They see it as a paycheck. I understand that.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at it that way.
But
quarterbacks,
well, I'll tell you some stories. Quarterbacks are a little different, where there's a lot of pride, a lot of ego in line. You're the leader. Go to the playoffs every year. Get the exposure. Get the money. If Sam Darnold went out and had the same 3 playoff performances year in, year out, then the Vikings would just be the Steelers. That's what they would be. Not a bad place to be, but you can improve. Before they get caught up in that full Steelers mix of first round exit, we're good, we're not good when it really matters, then they can get rid of them. 3-year deal, 4-year deal. It all works. But fix the culture completely with repeated playoff berths, and you're in a much different spot. It's better than a flash in the pan in once with a great season, and we're going to keep on experimenting. Don't like that. Keep me in the postseason. Maybe the levee breaks eventually.